Okay, so you will not believe what just went down with Meghan Markle. Buckle up, because this is one of those "did that really happen" moments. It all started with a pregnancy video. Meghan thought it was going to be this powerful, cute little clip, showing off her bump, lip syncing to a trending rap track, doing these exaggerated hand gestures, swaying like she was in her own music video. She thought it was bold. She thought it was going to break the internet in the best way. Well, it did break the internet, just not how she expected. The internet roasted her. People were like, what even is this? The reactions came in fast. Some were like, why is this a thing? Others straight up called it cringe. And the worst part? Meghan linked the post directly to her Netflix show, With Love, Meghan. Yeah, she basically tied the video to her professional image. It started as a few eye rolls on social media, then came the storm. So picture this. Netflix hosts a test screening for season 2 of With Love, Meghan. There's a full crowd, live audience, Q&A, the whole thing. Meghan's on stage, mic in hand, ready to charm the room. Except that's not what happened. During the Q&A, someone, very politely by the way, stood up and asked about the pregnancy video. They said it felt tone deaf, kind of embarrassing, and not really what struggling parents relate to. It was honest, not rude. And Meghan, she snapped, like really lost it. She raised her voice, called them haters, said they were fake fans, accused them of not getting her vision. The whole vibe in the room shifted instantly, ice cold. And then she screamed into the mic. People literally flinched. The Netflix crew was panicking. Producers ran to the stage, yanked the mic away, tried to do damage control on the spot. One of them probably thinking, let's just end this. Told the audience that the pregnancy video wasn't even approved by Netflix, that it was Meghan's personal project. Totally on her. That made things worse because now everyone realized Meghan had made it look like Netflix backed the video, and that was the final straw for a lot of people. Behind the scenes, full meltdown. Ted Sarandos, yes, the co-CEO of Netflix, apparently lost it in a meeting after the event. He's been defending Meghan for months, despite everyone telling him it was a bad call, and now he couldn't ignore it anymore. The show's been shaky since day one. Critics hated season 1. Viewership tanked after episode 2. Even Netflix employees were joking internally, saying they were just riding out the contract. Now, legal teams were scouring that contract for ways to end it early. PR was in emergency mode. They wanted Meghan to put out a humble statement, something calm, something like, I hear you, but she refused. Flat out refused. She said she wasn't going to apologize for being passionate, said she was sick of being silenced, and that, folks, was it. Greg Peters, the other Netflix boss, leaned over to Ted and whispered, no joke, she's not going to change. Boom, next thing you know, all live Q&A sessions canceled. Promo events quietly shut down. Meghan, still on the posters, still in the trailers, but behind the scenes, she was already being phased out. The clearest sign? Season 3 of With Love, Meghan, gone. No meetings, no announcements, just one internal email. Development frozen. And it gets messier. Her team starts scrambling, reaching out to other platforms, pitching future projects, a docuseries, a reboot, a book, a fashion collab, you name it, they tried it. But guess what? Nobody bit. Meetings ended in awkward smiles. People ghosted. Calls went unanswered. The gossip mill, it went wild. Industry insiders were whispering, don't touch her. Agencies even told their talent, avoid collabs, too risky. Now you'd think after that Netflix disaster, Meghan might lie low, maybe rethink the approach. But nope, a few days later, she goes live on Instagram. No glam, hoodie on, no makeup, soft lighting, the whole relatable, raw, real mom vibe, clearly trying to reclaim the narrative. And what did she say? That she's misunderstood, that the media twisted everything, that the pregnancy video came from a place of love and empowerment, and people just didn't get it. She tried to spin it like she was being targeted for daring to be bold, emotional, expressive. She even said she's tired of being punished for being real. But the comments? Brutal. People weren't buying it. Fans were sarcastically quoting her back to herself. Others were dropping clown emojis, calling it another performance. Even some of her ride or die supporters were like, girl, maybe just chill for a second. The whole thing backfired hard. Instead of humanizing her, it made everything feel even more performative. And at Netflix HQ, things got very quiet. Here's the thing. Netflix couldn't afford to look like they were silencing a woman of color. That's a PR minefield. But they also couldn't keep pouring money into someone who was now hurting their image. So they took the subtle route, the quiet freeze out. Budgets slashed. Marketing plans scrapped. Calls not returned. Meghan wasn't technically fired, but it was clear as day she was being frozen out. Quietly, but completely. No more meetings, no green lights, no new episodes. Her emails, her proposals, her next big thing ideas all went into the corporate void. Meanwhile, Hollywood's gossip machine on fire. Within days, casting agents were warning their clients. Internal studio memos started flagging her name with a new phrase, Meghan Risk Factor. It was like a warning label. If someone even mentioned collaborating with her, execs would shut it down immediately. Too volatile, too unpredictable, too much baggage. She had gone from headline maker to career hazard. Netflix employees who weren't even connected to her show were getting dragged into it. Media insiders were cracking jokes. Oh, how's Meghan today? You guys adding rap battles to Bridgerton? It was awkward. It wasn't just about that one video anymore. People started digging up her entire track record, the Spotify deal that flopped, the lifestyle brand that never launched, the podcast that fizzled, the brand collabs that disappeared faster than they launched. Suddenly, it was all part of one messy narrative, a trail of failed projects wrapped in self-importance and drama. And Meghan? She wasn't done fighting. She thought she could still salvage it. Her team pitched everything under the sun: a redemption docuseries about motherhood, a book about being silenced, a fashion line about strength and softness, even a reboot of With Love Meghan, focusing on resilience. Every pitch was met with the same fake smiles. Well, think about it. And then silence. Back at Netflix, the legal department finally came up with a plan. Let her contract expire quietly. No drama, no headlines, no renewal. Just let it end and pretend it was never supposed to continue anyway. They'd release season 2 just to make back whatever money they could. Then walk away. No lawsuits, no official statement, no messy back and forth. But here's the twist. They were terrified she'd blow it all up anyway. What if Meghan flipped the script? What if she went full victim mode and blamed Netflix for everything? Accused them of bias, of silencing her creativity, of playing politics? The PR team was sweating. They had backup plans drafted, pre-written statements, even fake positive spin pitches just in case Meghan decided to go nuclear. And then it happened. A major Hollywood trade magazine dropped the bombshell. A full feature, anonymous sources, brutal detail. Every dirty secret from that screening laid out. They even quoted a Netflix exec saying, "We had to take the mic out of her hand before she dug the hole any deeper." Mic drop. The article went viral in seconds. Social media went wild. Celebrities shaded her, comedians roasted her, reaction videos all over YouTube. And Meghan silent. No live video, no clapback, no sassy story post, nothing. For the first time in forever, nothing. Some sources said she was blindsided, completely shocked Netflix didn't defend her. Others said she saw it coming and just didn't know how to stop it. Either way, it was clear. The game had flipped. Meghan wasn't calling the shots anymore. Netflix. They cut their losses, pivoted to newer talent, focused on safer bets, and in private meetings, they made one thing very clear: never again. No more gambling on personalities over proven content. No matter how famous, no matter how loud, no matter how many headlines they promised to bring. Meghan Markle, once billed as Hollywood's next big power move, had become something else entirely, a cautionary tale. Not because she failed, but because she underestimated just how fast the industry can turn when you're no longer holding the mic. What really sealed Meghan's fate wasn't just the public mess. It was the silence from people who used to hype her up. Industry allies? Nowhere to be found. Those same influencers, media hosts, and stylists who once gushed over her every move were suddenly on vacation when asked for comment. Brand reps who used to repost her every quote were now curiously inactive. Even some of the big-name supporters, the ones who always had her back, started distancing themselves. Not in loud, dramatic ways, but in the subtle ways that matter in Hollywood. A missed invitation, a postponed meeting, a sorry, we're not taking new collabs right now. You know what they say in the industry, silence is the message. And the people who did speak, oh, they weren't kind. Former crew members, stylists, and even an ex-assistant started talking. Anonymously, of course, and the stories weren't flattering. One described her as impossible to direct. Another called her more interested in the spotlight than the script. Nobody came out to defend her. That's when it hit everyone. This wasn't just bad press anymore. This was full-on career isolation. Behind closed doors, something even more brutal was happening. Studios had quietly added her to what people were now calling the no-go list. It wasn't public, it never is, but everyone knew. You want to pitch a show with Meghan attached? Expect the room to go cold. Want to sign her as a brand ambassador? Your marketing team will flat out say, too risky. Agencies weren't even pretending anymore. They were advising their talent, wait it out, don't associate right now, maybe later, maybe never. Even casting directors, who don't usually get political, had started putting up barriers. A-list actors didn't want to be in the same project, not out of hate, out of caution. Nobody wants to step on a live wire. Meghan wasn't just sitting around. She tried to regroup. She met with her core team. They explored independent funding, crowd-funded docuprojects, a comeback podcast, even a short film. But the energy wasn't there anymore. The excitement, She reached out to a few press outlets, not to rant, but to try and tell her story on her terms. Only problem? None of them bit. Even the sympathetic ones had moved on to newer headlines. The clicks weren't there anymore. She just wasn't trending the way she used to. And in the end, Netflix never issued a formal statement. They didn't need to. The silence was louder than any press release. Her show faded from the front page. Marketing disappeared. Press kits stopped being updated. Season 2 dropped with no premiere, no promo, no fuss. It was almost like they were pretending she'd never been there at all. Final note, from megastar to mystery and just like that, the woman who once captivated headlines across the globe, who had the royals and Hollywood in her pocket, was now the center of one question: what happened to Meghan Markle? Was it ego? Was it bad advice? Was it a system that built her up just to tear her down? Maybe all of it. All that's left now is silence and 1,000 think pieces trying to figure out where it all went wrong. And Meghan? For now, she's off the radar. No live streams, no red carpets, no announcements. Just the distant sound of a mic being pulled away and the memory of a moment that changed everything.